in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we find that the example of Bir Ruma. So this is an example where Sayyidina Usman radiallahu anh, he bought a well from a Jew, and then he made it for free public utility. So this is one of the cases of early waqf in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then we have another example, that is the orchard of Abu Talha al-Ansari radiallahu anh. He is also a companion of the Prophet. When the verse, Quranic verse revealed, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ from Surah Al Imran, then he approached to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the companion Abu Talha al-Ansari, and he requested from the Prophet that, "O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this verse has been revealed, and to me there is one orchard which is named Bayruha, and this is very beloved to me. I want to make a charity out of it." Then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed him to do this charity upon his poor relatives. But this is also one of the cases of waqf which the fuqaha have mentioned in the classical books of waqf, and particularly two key books on waqf. If those who are interested, if they have understanding of Arabic, they can go to Ahkamul Awqaf by Imam al-Khassab and Ahkamul Waqf by Imam Hilal al-Rai. So these two books are kind of encyclopedia on waqf jurisprudence and waqf stories. Then the most explicit example of a waqf and how the waqf is practiced and how its ownership is frozen is given in this story of Umar radiallahu anh. He received one very very good land in Khaybar, and he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he requested for his advice on how to best use this land so that he can get reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed him that in shi'ta habbasta aslaha wa tasaddaqta biha, and in another hadith was sammir manfa'ataha wa sammir manfa'ataha aw kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed that, Umar, if you want, you can just freeze the ownership, the ownership of that property, and make charity of its revenues, its manfa'a. Then the jurists came to know that there is this sort of charity in which the ownership is not transferred to the beneficiaries. So these are the examples, early examples of waqf in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then there are other examples, but I will just quickly move on to next slide so that we can just cover within the given time all the other relevant aspects. Just to mention here, there is one qawl of Jabir radiallahu anh, and this statement actually has been narrated by Imam Qurtubi, and also it is mentioned in Al-Mawsu'a al-Fiqhiyya. Jabir radiallahu anh says that I don't know any of the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam who could have afforded to make a waqf and did not make a waqf. It means that anyone who could have done this actually did it. So anyone, we in general, our understanding is that only rich and wealthy people do endowment or waqf or sadaqah, but this is wrong, because in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even the companion who could have done a waqf of one shield or a horse or a small thing, so they did it in order to get the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perpetually and to qualify for this sadaqah al-jariyah. And then after the time of the companions, the waqf was accepted by the succeeding Muslim generations across the world. Wherever Muslims and Islam went, they created waqf. So much so that the historians say that by the 10th century, waqf had superseded zakat as the primary wealth redistributive institution. in Muslim society. It means the Waqf institution of Waqf grew and was covering so many aspects of Muslim society's real-time needs and the socio-economic requirements, that the contribution of Waqf was more than the contribution of Zakat. So although Zakat is an obligatory charity, Sadaqah Wajiba, and Waqf is Sadaqah Nafila, so Waqf is non-obligatory charity. Even with this difference, people were so much excited to do a charity in a perpetual manner, that they did so many awqaf, that the awqaf were covering the basic needs of the Muslim societies. And then the historians say the Waqf provided the premises for development of Islamic civilization. So everywhere we see masajid and the madrasa system, and then the hospitals, and then research centers, and then the water canal, and other all different institutions which are key to development of a civilization. These institutions were supported, funded, and promoted through Waqf resources. This is how Waqf played its revolutionary role in the Islamic societies. And then during the Ottoman era, the historian writes that actually Waqf was covering each and every aspect of human need, so much so that thanks to the Waqfs that flourished during the Ottoman Empire, a person would have been born into a Waqf house, slept in a Waqf cradle, eaten and drunk from Waqf properties, read Waqf books, been taught in a Waqf school, received his salary from a Waqf administration, and when he died, placed in a Waqf coffin and buried in a Waqf cemetery. So it means from the birth to the death, whatever needs are there for a human being, so there were awqaf, there were Waqf institutions which were covering the needs of the human society and individuals and the environment in a way that a person could have benefited from the early stage of his life to his demise from Waqf institution.
Islamic finance learning made simple and memorable.